Hey, good morning, guys. This is a demo video for my personal Saber. This is an 89 Sabers Fallen V3. This is something that I picked up for myself. I've done multiple of these Sabers for other people. I always enjoyed the design. Um, every time I would install one, I'd just sell it, right? Because most of the fun for me is installing them. But this one in particular, I wanted to pick up and keep for myself. I did do some mild weathering to this. This is uh, this is one of those sabers that is deceivingly hard to weather if you don't go through the steps to break it down properly and you try to weather it. It could look really bad. So what you have to do is there is a coating on here, and if you could tell, because I didn't take it off of the inside of the shrouds. The inside of the shrouds are still shiny because it still has the coating. I didn't want to take these shrouds off because they don't have the screws on them like the V2. The screws are on the inside of the inside of the emitter. Very hard to get to. I just didn't want to go through the motions of doing that. So what you have to do before you install this is put some sort of a paint stripper on it. Just let it sit for about 20 or 30 minutes, whatever the particular brand says that you're using. Get that coating off. Use like a steel wool. You can use a green Brillo pad, anything like that. But you want to break it down to bare aluminum, and then you can come back through and you can weather it with some aluminum black or whatever type of um, technique that you want to use. Personally, I use aluminum black. All right. So that's what I did on the upper piece. On the lower piece, this is a beautiful saber, but for whatever reason, 89 Sabers puts this saber out with a blue handle. So I don't like that. I had to take that and also break that blue off of the handle and break it down to bare aluminum. And then I went through, I did paint it black. My camera not liking the knurls on this handle very much, but I painted it black, and then I broke it down from the high points of the handle, just because this is something that would be handled a lot, and so there would be some wear there. So that's what I did to the handle all the way around. I came over to these flare outs over here before I painted it and heated them up and just kind of bent them out softly with a pair of pliers. I wanted those flared out so it actually looked like it was broken. Didn't do too much to the pommel. I just weathered it a little bit with some sandpaper to make it look broke down. Oh, you could see all that right there, right? All of this kind of stuff comes like this from 89 Sabers. I thought that was really cool, so I didn't really mess with it too much. All right. This is a 2-button setup, so the big switch is the power. The little brass tactile back here is the auxiliary switch. What you want to do to get to your chassis, obviously just unscrew the handle. This saber does have a few threads on it, which is no biggie, but take you a second to unscrew it. Slide that right off there. You'll notice on the pommel, if you haven't seen one of these before, there's lots of holes, lots of slits and holes and different things to light up. And so that's why I put the single accent pixel on the front of my speaker. This is a 28 millimeter speaker. It's one of the major things that I like about this Saber as well. It holds a 28 millimeter speaker, so it sounds super beefy. But I like to put this little holder right in front of the speaker with a single Neopixel accent, so I can light that handle up, and I'll show you that here in a second. In order to do that, you have to be very careful, if you can see in there. And I cut a notch in the speaker, but you have to be very careful to cut it just enough to where the wires can get through. You don't want to cut that notch too deep or you'll ruin your speaker. So there's a fine line there, right? And then a removable battery like I like to do. This is a typical board shelf that I like to do no matter what Saber I'm doing. If you've been following my work at all, you'll notice the board shelf pretty much standard, and then like everything else is just made to fit the Saber. But there's always going to be some sort of a shelf like this with easy access to the SD card, the micro USB. There's always going to be a kill switch right in front of the board. That's just where I like to put it, right? And it's going to follow this aesthetic to some degree. So that's what we've got there. This chassis does have a place for a Bluetooth up top. I didn't put one in here though because I've got one left and I'm saving it for another project. I'm just not sure what that project is yet. When I did my Survivor font video the other day, I actually had that entire package on my Scrapflex. It wasn't really the right type of saber for a Scrapflex. I thought it went way better on something like this. So I did transfer all of those fonts over to here. I'm not going to fire them all up, but the entire Survivor 2 package is on this saber. All right, so let me find a battery. It is like, it's about 3:30 in the morning here. My wife and I got woke up because we're having a pretty bad storm. And so I thought, well, since I'm awake, I'm going to do this demo, but I'm still waking up. I just have one cup of coffee. But that battery fits in there pretty tough. We can come over here and we're going to flip this on. When I turn on the Saber, I have one programmed blade style for this. No matter what color the blade is, I like to make this look like broken circuitry. All right, so come over here and flip the switch.
Whatever happened, you can't change the past.
When you put this handle on, this Saber sounds very, very good. We'll just twist this on, lock it down. Come over here and turn this light off. This one too. This Saber has twist on. So you can kind of see it flickering, but then it flickers on and off as well. To kind of replicate what it would look like if this mechanism back here got damaged, right? All the way around it. That was pretty cool. Even though we have a green blade. And then twist off. This particular PCB in here is from Shadowfoil Props. This is the new lit PCB that he came out with. I highly recommend these. I really love using them. They're very bright, very robust, and one of the best PCBs that I've used inside of a Saber. So typically I would use a Carl Chen PCB, which is very good as well. But then I wanted to use some of these and support Sam because he had come out with these. So I bought a handful, and I'll be buying some more because they are very nice. Let's put a blade in this guy. This takes a 1-inch blade, and I'm going to use my full-length test blade this go around. Normally I would use my small TriStar blade, but I think we can get away with a bigger blade this morning. Turn this off real quick. This thing is very solid when it's all put together.
Green crossguard. Indigo.
Indigo blade.
Indigo crossguard. Magenta. Magenta crossguard.
We'll skip through a few of these.
Orange. Orange. Purple. Purple cross. White. White cross. Yellow. Yellow crossguard. Red. Red crossguard. Party crossguard.
Let's go back to party.
Party saber.
Pretty cool. And then if I like this color and I want to get out of that, I'll just hold down auxiliary and twist my wrist. Now I've locked in that color.
Party crossguard. Lord Vader. Bode Akuna. Master Seer Junda. Centauri. My name is Dagon.
Jedi Knight Dargan Gera.
Ninth Sister.
Just like that. All right, so we'll turn this back on, and you get the point. So, yeah, this is one that I've been wanting in my collection for a long time. Just hadn't had the opportunity to pick it up until recently. All right, and then of course when we're done, I'm going to go ahead and take the battery out of this guy because it's my only test battery and I need it. But since there's a kill switch in there, I could leave it in there if I wanted to. Flip it off right here. You can see that, you know, with the pommel off of it, how it goes on and off until we flip that switch, right? Then the battery comes right out. But this is a setup that I've done for a lot of people over my time installing sabers, and I wanted one of my own. But that is the Fallen Order V3 from 89 Sabers. I do not buy directly from 89 Sabers. I've had 2 bad experiences trying to do that, where I've had to actually do a PayPal claim and get my money back. I bought this straight from Carl Chen over at CC Sabers. So if you're looking for an 89 Sabers, it would be my recommendation that you head over to CC Sabers to see if he's carrying any in stock that you like first. Don't go to the 89 Sabers website and buy direct. It's a bad time. So anyway, thanks for watching.